We're back. All right, guys. Well, it's been another week. Time for another high note.
A week of wonder.
Right?
A week of something.
A week of something. What have you guys been thinking about this week? Well, you've been packing your bowl, dabbing your dabs, loading your vapes. What have you been?
I've been thinking about casinos and cannabis.
Okay. All right. Tell me more. So, thinking about the connection of the two together?
Yeah, the hospitality around the travel to get out to these tribal dispensaries.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones legally allowed to be open right now.
Yeah, that's true. But how are people getting there? I see what you're talking about. The whole, if you're coming all this way,
Travel
what are you going to do
and
to
tourism.
get there? Have you ever gambled high before?
I've gambled maybe 5 times
Okay.
in my whole life. So, yes, I do remember one night gambling high. I'd rather just go to the casino
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's super fair.
because I think where I'm going is cannabis is more chill than alcohol, and casinos have been associated with alcohol
Mm-hmm.
for a long time. So we now have cannabis, and that could lead to hotels and trips. You know, name your activity, and you could probably do that at one of these recreational casino and dispensary locations.
Yeah, totally.
$75 at Fountain Bay Resort for a premium night stay. Comes with $20 worth of gambling tokens. So, 20 tokens, $75 for a night. That's an affordable night trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I can buy cannabis.
Cannabis-centric tourism.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Ishkade Cannabis coming soon.
Yeah. Fire.
Could we play poker, but instead of using poker chips, we have different jars, and then you get to keep the
Yeah.
jars? Maybe not.
Casinos and gambling, like, I don't know, maybe I would go. You know, I don't like to go, but I'd like to explore Minnesota.
A cool fact: I've never lost money at a casino.
Have you ever got money at a casino?
Twice.
That's okay.
Hey, clap it up for Tanner.
And then I haven't gone back in about 5 years because I'm afraid to break that. Well, if you want to donate to the Cannabis Industry Startup Fund, we're going to take all of our money and put it on black. And who knows, we might have the best small craft cannabis industry in the entire country.
What are you thinking about?
What am I thinking about? Really, what I've been thinking about a lot this week is what are some of those weird, maybe more abstract terp profiles that you're chasing? You know, I got that sour papaya that we tried a little bit earlier, and it got me thinking about like the gnarly, sort of rancid type dabs that I've done. A black onion is another one that like sticks out in my mind. It's just like, just like rancid. But if you could just, you know, out of thin air, create weed that smelled or tasted like something, what would you make it taste like? Shout out to my homie Aaron. I asked him yesterday, and he said like grandparents' breath. Like he wants dabs that just like you open, and it's just like, okay. What about you guys?
Darkness.
Darkness.
I'm more fruit forward. I'm gonna go citrus.
All right, there you go. I like orange.
Yeah, the unctuous terp profiles. Like I understand the correlation between unksosity and just sheer dankness. You know, I don't want to smell my grandma's breath before taking a big inhale.
You think there is that line between unctuous and dank?
Yeah, I mean, dank feels more fresh, like more like I say, like in my mind, like piney.
Okay,
But
yeah.
unctuous, I think of like, oh, that's ammonia.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my. It's not the one I'm. Yeah, 3 of those, please. You know.
Yeah.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
I smoked a grandparent's dab this week.
Okay.
So
So you got a bit
there
of
was
their
grandpa's breath on my dab.
There we go.
From the source too. That's homegrown right there. Farm to table.
How did it taste?
It was nice. Shout out to Puffco.
There you go. Shout out to Puffco. Incredible. What is something that you're chasing though? What's like a terp profile that maybe you like strawberry you're looking for? Maybe you want something that's like more of a mango papaya. You're looking for something that's really cushy, or what gets you going?
I'm stumped on that.
Okay,
I'm
that's
shouting out to Overt Sloth.
All right.
Whatever Overt Sloth's growing, I'm dryer vaporizing.
Oh, well, I think we've got the same plants in each of our tents right now, some of that truffle cake. And what you're looking for is rotten sock. That is
That's right.
That is how I feel about that plant. And, oh, man, I'm at like week 3 right now, and it is starting to come where you open the tent, and it's like, oh, okay, yep. That's fun.
There he goes. There he goes.
Yum,
Yeah.
yum, yum, yum.
Just to add in my own personal thoughts, any rotten fruit, like where you open the jar and it smells like something has gone terribly wrong in the process, I love that.
I had a Bartlett pear this week. That was
Okay.
very, very nice.
Did you smoke out of it or just eat it?
No,
normally?
I got it for $1.99 a pound.
Okay.
I got 2 Bartlett pears. Very good right now. So I would say I've also been having pear terps.
There we
Because
go.
terps are abound.
In everything.
Yes.
Everything's a terp. Butane's a terp. No, it's not. It's an old school joke.
Shout out to Grandma.
Yeah.
That nice roasty taste.
Yeah, I like when it sizzles. All right, Jordan, round us out. What have you been thinking about this week? What is your high thought for the week?
So my high thought has honestly been a culmination of years worth of similar thoughts, and that's for those who don't know, I am a professional photographer and videographer, and so I look at my life through a camera lens mostly.
Oh, he's a good guy to run our cameras.
These guys,
Yeah.
these little doohickeys.
Those
However,
terps.
I naturally gravitate toward like nature and landscape photography. I love when sunlight is doing something on a forest or doing something in a field or reflecting off of a lake. So I find these moments are happening a lot while I am traveling, having just smoked or ingested or something. And I am traveling past these scenes that I'm like, oh my God, I need to stop. Or, oh my God, I wish I had a camera that is more than just my phone. And that made me start thinking about like, what are moments in your life that you're like, oh God, I wish I could pause everything else happening right now to focus on this thing. Do you guys have those moments? I know me as a photographer, I'm looking for slices of visual, you know,
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
so are there things in your guys' lives that you
I found it.
that you find repeatedly like pull you out of like whatever moment, but in a good way, in a honestly productive way in terms of your creativity or your processing?
For me, that was biking around Uptown for 4 years and really just releasing and riding and seeing the nature and just loving Minneapolis, the chain of lakes, and being so close to Uptown. I just really took advantage of it when I could. And now in St. Paul, I don't bike, and it's a completely different vibe. And you know, occasionally I'll get on the bike, but like for now, it's like no. I am driving though. I am the driver of our family right now, and so like, but not as much as I used to, I would say. But
You gotta get
how
Gwen
old are
behind
you,
the wheel.
Jordan?
Say again?
How old are you?
31.
31. I was doing biking at 31. Like I was just loving that.
You're biking Ken? Yeah.
Yeah.
I am biking. Biking Ken. I'm camera Ken. Tanner, you're dab Ken.
I take that as a badge of honor.
You should. Absolutely.
My little Ken doll comes with a mini Puffco.
Puffco sponsor this podcast.
Please.
Why haven't we reached out to them?
Because we like when people reach out to us. Which, by the way, Tanner at mncannabiscollege.org, Steve at mncannabiscollege.org, Jordan at mncannabiscollege.org. Reach out to us. We'd love to get in touch.
Tanner, what moments in your life do you?
Yeah, so I think when I was just like getting out of high school, going into college, I was so convinced that it was nature, like going out into nature, finding the moments where I wasn't surrounded by other people, and just sort of like taking in the universe. I used to love, I have a telescope, and my favorite thing that I used to do is go and try to find dark areas and just look at different things that I could find. Sometimes you'd see a planet. Sometimes they would just be looking up at stars and sort of taking that all in. But I think as I've gotten a bit older, not yet 31, but a little bit older, I think the moments that I've been taking in more are when I'm surrounded by like my people. Like, it's been cool being able to, travel with my wife and talk about cannabis consumption sort of all around Minnesota and go on trips to other states and enjoy the cannabis culture there. And, it's going out into nature is cool. Traveling is cool. All of that is really cool. But it's having the people around you that you're doing that with that I think makes it extra special. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think, if I look through my phone, like a lot of the pictures I take is of the people around me. And not that I don't like nature. It's all right.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. It's the context in which you find yourselves that you got to find the serenity amongst the calamity. Mm-hmm. And for me, unfortunately, most of the time it's staring out my windshield or side windows being like, God, I wish I could take a picture. And we're gone. I wish I could just stop that time. Everybody else behind me stops their cars. We all just hit pause for a second. I just step out of my moving vehicle, take a few pictures, and...
Well, we're excited to launch the new Northern Lights video series where it's just going to be 12-hour loops of Jordan driving across the state of Minnesota.
And it's just a selfie. It's just looking at me while I'm...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Do you play video games?
I go through phases where there will be a video game I just am fixated on, and some last longer than others, like Rocket League. Give me 5 minutes of just chaos or organized chaos pandemonium. Like, I know what to expect. I know what the task is. I find myself less gravitating toward, like, puzzle problem-solving games just because I don't have the patience. I don't see the value in, like, solving those types of games. But, no. To answer your question, I wouldn't say I'm a video gamer.
Me neither. Just wondering, like, where you're getting release from, right? Because obviously you can't stop the car in the moment. You can show up though. You can show up with your friends and do stuff, and that's the best time to bring the camera out, is to really relish and enjoy the memories.
Yeah. The thing is I operate with these types of cameras, and when these types of cameras come out, people are like, oh, like people see this type of camera and they're like, oh, there's a camera, the capital C camera around, and for being a professional photographer, I'm really bad at capturing my life's moments, but that's okay. Like I'm not paid to capture my life's moments. So like to answer your question, I get my release from these recording sessions, and from on Wednesday we were here shooting a product feature for a brand that we're very in alignment with from a business standpoint. And me and my colleague Addo spent 6 hours just doing B-roll product photography over there. And it's it's important for me to set aside that intentional time to be creative, because the world, at least that I live in, doesn't facilitate me having organized free time to be creative for being creative's sake. Thankfully, my job brings a certain level of like just free form creativity.
We live in Minnesota in 2024. There's room for the Dabbler Depot in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Say hello to gas stations and THC beverages. Here we are.
Yeah.
Dabbler Depot.
Dabbler Depot, 3 Twin Cities locations: South Minneapolis, West 7th in St. Paul, and on the east side on Payne Avenue. Seed and Sesh. DabblerDepot.com.
There we go. All right, guys. Well,
my boss is sitting out here, so
I know he's gonna be so thrilled. Shout out, man.
Just
making sure, shout out to that.
Just making sure we're ticking those boxes, folks.
There we go.
Pay our bills.
Pay the bills. All right. Well, that's all we got for this week, guys. Thank you so much for listening along. As we said, shout out to Dabbler Depot as always for hosting us. We'll be back in your feeds next week. In the meantime, find us on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, LinkedIn, YouTube, Blue Sky, maybe, I don't know. And subscribe. Definitely make sure to follow along. We're dropping YouTube videos all the time. In fact, sometimes even multiple videos a day. So make sure to subscribe, and we'll keep that content coming, and share it with our friend. We always love being able to, have people have conversations around Northern Lights, and share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it in a group chat with a random phone number you've never talked to before.
We're coming up on Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
And Tanner, I think you mentioned you have some very specific plans for how you're gonna really activate your family. This year.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's the cousin walk. The cool cousins that maybe go out before Thanksgiving lunch, and they're just going out. And this is a call to action to everyone. Include your grandparents in that walk this year. Really try to change the conversation around cannabis. Don't just have it be the cool cousins going out for a smoke. Grandma wants to smoke too.
Yeah, don't be a turkey.
Don't be.
Hey, fuck you, man. That was funny.
No, that was very good. We're gonna go.
Don't be a turkey. That was really good. All right. Yeah. So that's our call to action. It's for people. If you're doing Thanksgiving with your family, we definitely know not everyone is a celebrator of that holiday, but if you are, definitely make sure to bring a little bit of cannabis into that celebration.
And tell them Tanner said, don't be a turkey.
Don't be a turkey. That's going to be... Should we get a shirt with that on it?
Are we selling merch? How's our merch store doing?
It's
Wait, first of all, where do you even find the Northern Lights merch store?
Okay, I have an idea. I want to put merch on the YouTube channel.
okay.
There's a way we can do it. It's called the shopping tab
Here we go.
in YouTube Studio.
Okay. So if people are like watching YouTube right now, they're like at their computer, they're like on YouTube.
Yeah.
Could they like click a button and maybe go and find that?
Yeah, and it'd be a really easy way to go shopping at the Minnesota Cannabis College for the Minnesota Cannabis College, support the Northern Lights podcast. I think YouTube makes it really easy. Shout out to Google.
So we'll have our flag shirts, we'll have our logo shirts, and then we'll also have a shirt that says, "Don't be a turkey." Maybe get grandma in the blunt rotation.
And I think it's just a clip art version of a turkey, but the little like gobbly thing is just an upside down pot leaf.
Perfect. We're gonna work on this off camera, y'all. So go check out our page. Go check out, if it's not on YouTube yet, it will be soon. So definitely be sure to stick around, get our merch. Otherwise, you can check out mncannabiscollege.org/Northern Lights and get to the same type of stuff. Wow, guys, what a good week.
Good episode, fellas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
We'll be
thank
back
you all for listening. Yeah.
next week.
Next week.
Shout out to North Star Law Group for sponsoring our podcast. I
Absolutely.
think they're coming up soon again.
Yeah. Shout out to Union Bank and Trust. Shout out to some of our incredible partners. We're really happy to have y'all along with the ride. For those of you still listening along, drop in the comments below. What are you up to? What do you want us to do on this show? We always love to try new stuff.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Talk to y'all soon. Northern Lights is a Minnesota Cannabis College production. This episode was produced by me, Tanner Barris, and by Steve Eigenman and Jordan Witt. Production assistance from Marcus Harkis, Shayna Payton, and John Barty. Video and audio recording at the Dabbler Depot studio by Jordan Witt. The information provided in this podcast does not, and is not intended to, constitute legal advice, but is instead for general information purposes only. No listener should act solely on the basis of information provided without first seeking advice from their own legal counsel. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Minnesota Cannabis College. Please listen responsibly.